Hello, welcome, and this is Anime Zone. Now, today, today I have a big one, Monogatari. To be specific, Bakemonogatari. Now, to review Bakemonogatari, first I want to talk about Monogatari in general. I love Monogatari, but I also hate Monogatari. I have such a complicated relationship, if you want to call it, with this series that I've had many ups and downs with it, and it really just goes by arc or even by seasons that my enjoyment of it like varies. But at the end of the day, I just it's been my obsession for a good while now since I finished it during this quarantine, and it was just wow. It's different than anything I've ever ever watched in anime by far, and even the way the stories are told. Now, this review will contain spoilers, so because I want to talk freely about this is a big one, and I will review each one, Bakemonogatari or whatever. But if you haven't seen it, I'm gonna tell you one time, just go watch it. Go watch it. It's despite all its flaws or whatever, it's worth it. Okay, you can't be an anime fan and not watch it. It's a great show. If you I guess if you're like an action buff, a shonen buff, then don't watch it. But if you're anything else, then yes, go watch it. Now, let's get to the actual review. So, Bakemonogatari. Jesus, what a long show. Let's just talk about how long this series is. Like, it has like 8 seasons, and Shaft did a great job animating. Like, Bakemonogatari is old. I don't remember when it came out. I think it was 2008 or was it 2012? No, I think Nisei Monogatari came out in 2012. But regardless, it looks great. It looks great, and it has this like everything, like the world is empty. I guess it did this to cut out budgets, but it gives you a feeling that you're focused on the main characters. You're focused on their problems, and I really like that. And what I like the most and is that no matter how many times I've watched an episode, every time something new. I pick up something new because that's how well written it is. The amount of depth that in its characters and how it's written and how the author does the arcs, it's just amazing. It's honestly it's wow. It really can blow your mind how well he can do it, how well thought out he has his things. Now, the story revolves around many different around this Aragagi. I can't mention his name. I can't even pronounce it. Going around helping people with oddities or aberrations or I don't. They keep calling it different things throughout the show, but let's go with oddities or oddies. Oddies, yes. Anyways, he goes there and he has to. His character is very interesting because he has this complex of wanting to help and this idea of like saving everybody, and it's the same character. Basically like every other freaking isekai main character who's like everybody's such a goody goody, but he's more depth. Like the depth that Aragi, that the main character has, is just great. It's wow. You can see how in different seasons, when especially second season, when when the interactions or the point of view shifts to someone else, you can see difference between Aragi's point of view and someone like Senjohara's or Hanekawa, because especially on the way that they see Kaiki. Like Kaiki is best boy, by the way, but the way that they see Kaiki, the way that he sees him, and versus the way that I'm going off topic. That's Nisei, and that's way on second season and whatever. So I'm gonna stick to Bakemonogatari, and I want to go into it by arcs. I don't know how long this video is gonna be, but the first one, the crab with Senjohara. This caught me completely off guard because when I went in this show, I did not. I literally had no idea what to expect. Um, I watched the recommendation from Noxtaku, great YouTuber by the way, memes. If you like memes, go watch it. And it just caught me off guard. Pure dialogue, The story went slow, and at the end of the first arc, they there's always like this hidden meaning between it. And but in season one, by the way, in Bakemonogatari, like it was all of the stories had a character flaw that was causing it, and that was just like wow. I really like that. It's really nice, and there's so many in-depth things that you just can't catch the symbolism, like the way that they did some fan service or the way that they acted upon some fan service. And it's like you may think it's just fan service, but it's not just that. It serves a greater purpose. Now I can't explain this as great as someone like Kibu did, so go to that YouTuber. He reacted to the whole series and he analyzed it perfectly. Great reactor, by the way. um Great channel, high recommendation. But the crab with Senjohara, I prepared myself because I was like, oh, so this is the type of storytelling we're gonna tell. And when we had the, what was his name, Meme, Oshino Meme, he when he had him show up, anytime he was on screen, actually, I really enjoyed his character. In fact, there's this one thing about this show that I got a habit of after I saw it. The fact that the characters always go like, huh? I started saying that so much after I finished it because it just subconsciously it was in my head the whole time. But Sandra Ara's one revolving around the mom and the cult was just great. It was great. Um, I can't analyze things in depth as much as I would like to, so it is what it is. But just know that I did catch on to a lot of the deeper meanings to things, and it was really nice. And yeah, moving on to the second arc. By the way, different intros. That's pretty nice. But I'm all over the place. So the second arc. The second arc. The Valve. This might have been my favorite. This or the last one. But with I don't remember her name. I can't, even if I did, I couldn't pronounce it. The snail arc. I loved Aragi's interaction with the girl, the little kid. Every time they got in a fight, and then he would monotone that. He would do a dialogue about how he is a high school student, not holding back. It was just great. The fact that the entire, I think it was the third episode, was just two scenes, just blew my mind when I first saw it, because I was like, wow, how could they do this and still keep me entertained? Now, of course, the reasons why I have a hate relationship with this series wasn't because of Bakemonogatari, because those problems came in later. But the more and more I watch and analyze it, and the more and more I watch reactions and analytical videos on it, the more I love it and the less I hate it. Because I had a balance on it, but now I was leaning towards more love than hate. But I digress. The snail arc. Now, the snail arc was I wouldn't say it was the easiest to figure out, but it didn't shock me. It didn't shock me. And I guess the snake arc didn't shock me as well, but I mean, the snake arc was never meant to shock you. But whatever. Snail arc, really good. I liked how it did the dialogue, and I really liked Senjohara and Aragi's interactions. Every time they interacted, it was just so much fun. Like the interactions in the shows is just gold. Like the interactions with all the characters and all their different personalities. And moving on, because it's already like 9 minutes. The snake arc. This is like no, after. My bad. Not forgetting about the monkey arc. Monkey arc, when when she went and tried to kill Aragiri out of nowhere, that scene was just, one, it was beautifully animated. Second, wow, it caught me off guard because I was not expecting. This is a show that filled with dialogue. Seeing some action was just like, what? Like, did I go to the wrong show? But it's just like Shaft flexing on you, being like, the story is different, but if when it has action, we can do it. We can flex. And they did. They flexed on me so hard, and I loved every second of it. And that one was pretty interesting too. The one about having a lesbian love and her hating Araragi because of it, and she's just an interesting character altogether. I forgot her name. It's on the tip of my tongue, but great character. I really do enjoy her, and especially her interactions with the main character Araragi, and the way she taunts him with all the jokes. Anyways, moving on to the other girl, Snake Girl. Now she is the most adorablest thing ever. You gotta protect her, okay? You got to protect her. Um, Monogatari, man. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna talk with surface things that I like, and one of these days I'm gonna go back and actually analyze it because wow, so wow. Anyways, her. Don't remember her name also. God damn it, I should probably research names before I come in these videos. Give me a second. Okay, her name was Sengoku, and the previous one was Kanbaru. How did I forget Kanbaru? Oh my god, I love her character so much. This is a crime. This is such a crime. But Sengoku, her arc was really short. Felt like a side story, really, involving snakes. Now I fucking hate snakes. Sorry for the cussing. But snakes are not my thing. Like, get those out of here. The whole idea of her getting asked out and just accidentally getting the curse. I also love the line by Meme when he's like it's easy to place a curse but not remove it. But whatever. I digress. Sengoku. She's the most adorablest thing ever, and I love especially in second season when they expand on that idea, her innocence and her ability to feel like a victim. And I guess my manly side was just like, damn, she's so adorable, gotta protect her. And I'm glad the way it ended, that Aragiri couldn't save the two persons that sent the curse. No, definitely saved one of them if I remember correctly, but the other one, nope, he didn't. And this will build into his inner insecurities or whatever. And having Kambaru with him in this one was just fun. Oh my god, especially when they were in his room. I just had a big smile in my face the whole time. Gotta love this show for that. Okay, let me see. The next one is Hanekawa's cat art. Now this one, if I remember correctly, was the longest one, and not all of them involved the cat. Some of them just in the background it was happening. Because within this one is when we got the date with Senjohara, and that episode, great, absolutely great. Their interactions are just great. I will say this though, the romance between Aragi and Senjohara could have been better handled. It was definitely good. Well, the setup was decent, and the actual romance was pretty good, and it gets better over the course of the series. But this I wasn't sold on the idea of them together until I watched this episode. I'm saying this like if I mentioned the name, but the episode when they go on a date, that one sold me on the idea of them together, and I was like, okay, I can ship this, I can go behind this. I'll put Hanekawa in the background, despite all my wanting. Ironic, because as soon as I came to terms with that, the cut arc has to do with Hanekawa being in love with Aragi and having to hold that in. I was just like, wow. The show just made me fall in love with their relationship, and now it's putting this like wow between it. Should I side with it? Now I knew that Aragi would refuse. It would be interesting if he didn't, but I love that idea that he fell in love with Senjohara because of everything, and he just has like an attraction towards Hanekawa. He's a horny bastard. That Aragi is a horny bastard. What can I say? But that whole cut art is just, it was really really nice. And the thing with Shinibu, before just before the development. So the thing with Shinibu and her coming out of his shadow, I genuinely didn't see that coming. And yes, I know about the frame by frame thing. But I'm not a lolly person, so I'm just I know about it, but I've never actually bothered to actually go frame by frame. But whatever, that kick was legendary. All the flips, if you notice in this one, not a lot of conflicts are fully resolved. They are just like halted, like they're not permanent. The only one that stayed permanent was, I guess, the snake one. None of them were permanent. They were just temporary solutions. And second season really does hammer in on this and finishes what they start here. But you really gotta appreciate that, because in so many shows an arc begins and arc ends. Like I'm thinking of Strike by Blood, a show that I wouldn't recommend if you don't like edgy dumb vampires. I'll talk about that show one day. But the thing is that that show accustomed me to arc in, end of arc after 4 episodes, and that's how expecting. The conflict finishes. Maybe the characters from that conflict show up in other things, but then the conflict ends. They find solutions. So the fact that they only found temporary solutions, never a permanent one, really, really interests me. It was like, wow, it caught me off guard. But anyways, I spent 15 minutes just talking about the arcs, the characters individually. Now, I was the foolish man who was like, I think I can rank these girls by my likability. The more the series went on, the harder it was, because the more I either fell in love with an already established character or new characters, and it was just so many best girls to pick from. Um, Ask me any day of the week, and I'll have a different answer. I love them so much. They're all so different, and the dialogue is great too. Like their dialogue between each other and the way they usually it's just two people interacting. So when three people interact, you're like, wow, um how would Shinibu react with someone else, right? And it's that having that interest is amazing, and having the show make me have that interest is just it's great. What can I say? It's amazing. Um, I have a lot of love for the show, in case you can tell. Especially this first season was just it was really great. It was really great. Now I want to talk about the OPs for a little while. The fact that they had different OPs caught me off guard. It was like I was not expecting it. That's a lot of effort from Shaft, and I really appreciate it though. I really did enjoy that different OPs for different girls and different arcs. The mixture with animation and real life though for Bake, that kind of uncomfortably like took me out of it for a little while, because I was like, oh, but it's so trippy. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. Like nothing, like there's no established things, but I get it. There's no like established roads or things like that. Everything's so abstract, and I like the feeling of abstract. I definitely did. The more as the show went on, it became more normal, not fully crossing that normal line, but it got more to that side. But this one out of all of them has been the most abstract. Now, I could talk about this for so long, but I've already spent 17 minutes ranting about it. Animation was great, really. For how old it is, it shouldn't look this good. The voice acting, the subs, just great. They really are great. The cinematography, or like how they move the camera, the animation, like the placement of shots is just very unique. Very, very unique. The way they pitch the voices to like give emphasis on some and not on others, and that's just great. The ED's really, I really like the ED too. Now that I think about it, the ED was really like catchy to listen to. um like I don't know, it's full praises for this one. What can I say? Now I don't want to give it a rating. Monogatari overall is a top tier anime though. You should know that. Bakemonogatari is a great introduction. And by the way, I watched Monogatari by the semi-chronological order. And I'm gonna review it through the semi-chronological order, because well, that's how I watched it. Of course, it's not I think that the release order would probably be the best one, except putting in one of them. But regardless, I will end it here. Thank you for listening, and this was my YouTube channel. Subscribe for more, and yeah, goodbye.